How did Maroon communities influence abolitionist movements? Imagine a world where enslaved Africans escape their chains and build their own societies in hidden forests and remote mountains. These are Maroon communities, and their stories ripple through history. They were groups of formerly enslaved Africans who fled plantations and created independent settlements in hard-to-reach places across the Americas. These communities developed their own social rules, cultures, and ways of defending themselves, all while living free from colonial control and slavery. Their existence was more than survival. It was a bold statement that freedom was possible outside the oppressive system. Maroon communities showed resistance in many ways that inspired abolitionist movements. They proved that enslaved people could fight back and establish their own societies. Their successful escape and self-governance challenged the idea that slavery was unbreakable. These communities became symbols of Black autonomy and independence, encouraging enslaved Africans to believe they could also be free. Their military tactics played a big role. Maroons used guerrilla warfare, ambushing colonial forces, and using their knowledge of the terrain to stay safe. Leaders like Nanny of the Maroons in Jamaica used quick strikes and clever strategies to defend their people. These tactics not only protected their communities but also disrupted the colonial economy and weakened slavery's hold. Their active resistance showed that enslaved people had agency and could fight for their freedom. Some Maroon groups even negotiated treaties with colonial governments. These agreements recognized their freedom and land rights. For example, the Jamaican Maroons signed treaties that acknowledged their independence, proving that enslaved Africans could assert their rights through negotiation. These political moves influenced abolitionist arguments about the rights and humanity of Black people. Cultural preservation was another key aspect. Maroons kept African traditions, languages, and rituals alive, resisting assimilation. This cultural strength proved that African-descended communities could thrive independently. It also inspired later Black movements in America, emphasizing the importance of identity and heritage in the fight for justice. Maroon communities also created networks of communication and support. They traded with enslaved people, Native Americans, and even isolated settlers. These connections spread news of resistance, escape routes, and ideas of freedom. Their existence encouraged enslaved Africans to resist and escape, putting pressure on the system of slavery and supporting abolitionist efforts. Finally, stories of Maroon leaders and their communities became powerful symbols. Figures like Nanny of the Maroons became icons of Black resistance and freedom. Their successes were used by abolitionists to argue against slavery and to promote emancipation and equal rights. In short, Maroon communities influenced abolitionist movements by showing that resistance and independence were possible. They embodied the fight for freedom, kept African traditions alive, and inspired countless others to pursue liberation. Their stories reminded us that, even in the face of great odds, the desire for freedom can spark lasting change.